Minneapolis North, semifinals of the tournament, state tournament in '86. You guys had lost to them in the semis the year before. Let's go through the last, 2 minutes of that game against North in the semis. Again, what took place? Because they were obviously a perennial great program, winning program, Last 2 minutes of that game.
I remember before the game even started that they tried to intimidate us at center court.
Yes.
As we're doing layups and stuff.
Right. Yeah, that was into crossing over and stuff like
Bumping
that.
into you.
Oh yeah.
And there was some trash talking going on, and I personally was not involved in any of it, and I never really experienced that.
Right.
But there were some guys on the team that were
Like to talk.
jawing back
Yeah,
and forth,
yeah.
so it was heated from the opening tip.
Yeah.
Like, who are these punks from the north coming down here? I think they can play with us. So
Right. Yeah.
It was interesting, but the last couple minutes of the game, I think it was back and forth pretty much the whole game.
It was.
We got down. I think we were down 5 with
Couple minutes left.
maybe 1 or 2 minutes left, and we really needed some things to fall into place
Right.
for us. And
Yeah.
we got a key steal. John got a key steal that got us
Right.
back, and then we had to foul. And that
They missed free throws too, didn't
yeah,
they?
Yep.
And we had. I mean, that was the only way we had a chance to win that game. Was
Right.
to hope that they missed some free throws, and we were fortunate enough where they had the front end of a 1-and-1 at the end,
Right.
and
How many seconds to go?
maybe
13.
13
13
Yeah.
seconds.
Yeah.
You guys are down 1.
Down
Oh,
one.
they're at the free throw line. They missed the front end of a 1-on-1. They're up 1.
We just used our last time out. We had 13 seconds left. And so we came in and got in, and Coach Hastings didn't even talk about him making it. He didn't bring it up. He said, "Okay, when he misses, this is what we're going to do." And so
And here's how we're going to win the game.
and here's how we're going to win.
There was no doubt in his mind that we were going to win this game,
Right.
even
Yep.
though we're looking at a guy potentially shooting 2 free throws to end the game.
Being down 3.
He was
Right.
like, "We're going to win this game."
Right.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yep. And I can't remember who was shooting, but he shot, missed it. We got
How
the
much time was on the clock when you shot it?
13
seconds. So we had to go the full length of the court to get us over. And Tom brought it up. He was our point guard. You could just feel the temperature
Too many
rising
people
and
wanted
stuff.
the ball. I didn't want the ball. It's like as soon as I got it, it's like give it right back. I think we even fumbled it a little bit.
Yep.
It was not the prettiest play, but then
Right.
just at the last second, Tom was driving to his right from the left side of the court.
Right.
And Tim, being left-handed, just came right across the lane and they just ignored him.
Yeah,
Tom just zipped it into him, and he just a little left-handed layup. I mean, like right,
Right. Yeah,
like we drew it up.
Yeah, well, and actually, that's what Coach told us to do in the huddle, that we didn't realize that he told us to do until it actually happened. So he said, let's get it up there, work around, try to get the ball in Tim, and let's win this game. And
It was as simple as that.
It was.
It actually was.
Yeah,
It was.
If you watch it, it's
Did your
amazing how they
defender
just
turn his-
ignored him.
Did your defender turn his head? Did you get off the screen or?
I stayed on the opposite side, and so Tom's coming down this way. We went back. We knew, as you guys remember, we like to go back and forth and then down into the corner. So it went back and forth, and went down the corner and back. And Tom started to drive a little bit. So he started to drive, and I stepped in front of Singletary, whatever he was, and because their big center went out on Tom. So it kind of opened that up, and Tom made a great pass with 1 second left, and when it left my hand and hit the backboard, that's when it hit 0, and that's when it went in.
It was. I have it on. You guys obviously must have that tape at home, but it's really dramatic. It's a great finish, and yeah, I mean, just the calmness. I'm sure Pearson's temperature is rising big time, but his heart's beating. But I mean, it was literally. He looked calm when he kind of hooked that pass down to you, Tim, and you just kind of spun and hit the shot. It was.
I mean, Tom was a great facilitator.
Absolutely,
He made
absolutely.
some great passes.
Yeah.
When nobody else, well, I certainly didn't want the ball. I mean, it was like, what am I going to do with it?
Plus your bum ankle too. That's part of it
right.
too.
And my coach didn't ever want me to shoot.
So I asked them about preparation. What did you guys do to prepare for this game? Or what was your typical routine?
I think, back in those days, we didn't so much unless you play against a 7-foot guy and it's kind of specific defense to play against a certain guy who's so big, because Bob Martin played at Apple Valley my senior year, the next year, and so playing against a guy like that kind of changed what you did a little bit. But for the most part, my memory is we just kind of, You know, we press, we try that out a little bit, we get back into the 2-3 zone, and regardless of what an opponent did, whether it was Duluth Central or somebody else, we just kind of ran through our offense. I don't remember anything specific. Maybe Coach does. I think back in those days, Coach, you just kind of got ourselves ready, went through a scouting report, but it was just
We
like.
didn't have film to watch.
Yeah, and I think we watched the end of that game, your North game, the night before, so we saw that. And, but it was like, let's just get ourselves ready. That's my memory of, as far as our prepreration.
So your first game was it
Fergus Falls.
Fergus Falls.
And then it was North.
North.
Did they both man-to-man you? I'm assuming North did.
North did. But,
Yeah.
no, Fergus, I think, played a zone against
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
And then they got down, and then they had to
Come out of it.
play
Yeah.
man.
So with facing the traditional Jack Evans 2-3 zone, was there anything you guys had to get ready for, or you guys just had a base off?
We had a lot of teams play
Yeah, zone against us, yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
we had, John was a great shooter. Tim was pretty dominant inside, as you know, not a very tall individual, but our inside game was pretty good against teams that we played against in the North. I think the thing that gave us trouble against you guys was your physical size. You guys were so much bigger across the whole back line, bigger
Right.
than we had ever seen. And we weren't a great shooting team. We certainly didn't shoot the lights out in any of the
That
three
game,
games
yeah.
we played in the state tournament. I think we shot 36%
Yeah.
from the field, but I think you guys had a distinct advantage on second chance and third chance opportunities on
Yeah.
offensive rebounds. That killed us. I don't think you made too many outside shots, even though
No.
we never played a zone. I mean, that was,
Yeah.
that was against the law.
Yeah.
Jim Hastings' gym.
Yeah, you don't play zone at
Yeah.
Duluth Central. So you're always playing, didn't make a difference what the score was, who their team was, you're man-to-man.
Walker and Nayrud and Flick, they just went right
guys.
over us. you know.
Yeah, that's one thing, you know, one thing about our team that season is, and the best way to describe it, I think, is like my senior year, the next year. I think game 2, we started the season my senior year, and game 2 we started to click. We played our first game, won it, but we didn't play that well, and then we started to click in game 2, and we clicked all the way through the state championship game. My junior year, your senior year, we didn't start to click in that team, and this kind of explains what happened with that scrimmage. We didn't start to click until our second sectional game. It took us the entire season to click. We were winning games, and we were a good team and stuff, but we weren't maximizing what we had. So I guess my point is like when we saw you guys in the scrimmage in December, is you're probably thinking, once you got to the state championship game, you're like, we're going to walk all over these guys. They're not that good.
no.
Really? That's what I thought.
No.
But we were,
We never gave it a second thought.
Yes.
okay.
But most of us probably didn't even remember that we played you guys.
Okay.
And if we did, we were like, we don't remember hardly anything.
Okay. Okay. All I know is we that team, it took us a long time to figure it out. And we had talent and everything, but we weren't clicking. And then we started to click right at the end of the season. And a big part of that is we started to play through our taller players.
Right.
Flick was playing his best at the very end of the season. John Walker went on a tear,
Yeah.
came out of nowhere. And then I stopped deferring as much as I was early in the season for a couple of reasons, but I just started taking on more of the responsibilities. And then that's when that team was at our best. And so had we not done that, we wouldn't have won it.
Yeah. And I don't think we really could have done that. I mean, realistically, we should have lost that North game. I mean, we were down 5 points with less than 2 minutes left, and we got they threw the ball out of bounds once with a long pass which they didn't have to do.
Right.
The next time down, we follow them, and Horner makes a steal, goes down and gets a layup to bring us within 1, and then they missed their free throws. They're 1-1 to get us that. So, we were more relieved that we were going to the championship game rather than whatever. And there was, when you have a coach that's on his 25th year and he was tied for the most state championships at that time with 3, trying to win his 4th, and you're undefeated going into your final game of the state tournament. So there was, there were temperatures building and throughout the whole thing when it comes to it. And not only on the court, but off the court too. I mean, you could feel that. You could really feel that, not only, I wouldn't say so much with us, but just with him too, that, this is kind of the end of the dynasty for him. And it was just, It was an extra level of pressure that certainly I don't think we needed at the time, but it was reality and what we had to go through.
So what are your memories from our battle in '86? Do you have any guys? I didn't watch the game for a long time until when we started putting this project together. I watched it and I had forgotten how close and how
back and forth.
Yes.
hard fought that game was.
Nobody shot the ball worth it orange.
No, and it was, you guys kind of jumped on us right off the bat in the first quarter. I don't know what you're up, 5 or 7 or something like that.
Maybe more than that.
Then we
Probably.
kind of came back, and then it
Right.
was nip and tuck all the way
Right.
till the very end, and so that was I don't know if it was a well-played game, but it was hard fought. I mean,
I think both teams played.
It was great defense.
Yeah.
It was a great defensive game, I thought.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, we were, you know, I think all of us were, you know, good, well-rounded players that, you know, you guys, you know, lived with the zone, we lived with the man-to-man. So, you know, each one of those have their, you know, the positives and negatives when it comes to it. And I don't think we could capture any added advantage just because we were both solid on defense when both teams played.
right.
And you guys kept us from getting out and running as well. So that was
Yeah.
a big part of our game. We loved it when people would full court press us.
Yeah.
Because
I think
I wasn't
we-
a great ball handler. Tom was pretty good ball handler, but
And-
we'd give the ball to this guy.
Right. He'd do it. Oh, I remember a couple times he
Left-handed.
went coast to coast against
Oh,
us.
yeah, just like
Well,
a deer down,
yeah, yeah.
and then everybody'd be like, okay, we do that 3 times in a row, and it's like,
Right.
okay, take the press. I'm like,
Well, and I would even venture to say that we ran more than North did in that
Yeah.
game. Because as soon as we got the ball, I mean, we would go. I mean,
it
'cause
was outlet. I mean, you had
Yep.
guys yelling
Yep.
on both sidelines. We got a rebound, it was an outlet.
Yep.
You know,
You
just
sound like you're
like-
pretty
Just go.
well conditioned too.
It had to
Yep,
be.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, yeah,
Rarely played 6 guys.
yes.
Mike
Yeah.
didn't get in a lot, and the
No,
only reason
nope.
I played instead of Mike is because I was willing to do the things that Hastings wanted me to do.
Right.
Which
Yep.
was not shoot the basketball. He literally told me, Danny, I don't need you to shoot the ball. We got enough shooters on this team. I need you to play defense, pass the ball, set screens, and if you got a layup, shoot that and shoot from the free throw line. That was it. If I shot from anywhere else, if I missed,
Danny!
I heard about it. If it went in, it was okay, but it very seldom. So if you watch that game again, you'll see me. When I get the ball,
Hot potato, man. Get rid of it, right?
this is fun. I don't know why, who was I mean, you had Berg and
Jeff Munson.
That's it.
he caught on. He's like, okay, this guy's not even looking at the
Well,
ball. He would just play the pass
Yes.
back to the
Right.
top.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple of times where I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'll step into the elbow there, but heaven forbid I shoot. You know, it's,
There's a play late in the game where you kick the ball. I was right.
that was not.
Oh,
It wasn't a
come on. We can go.
He threw it at my leg.
If you go up, it's got to go around eventually. I mean, if it hits it never hit the foot. It hit the shin. Hit the shin.
I still can't believe that
I
wasn't.
love the commentary on that because they're like, the whole Jefferson bench is up in arms screaming that was a kick. It was clearly a kick. I didn't call it, so I ran down to the court, into the court and got the ball.
But even with that, even with if there were missed calls, there was probably the same amount for
was a
each of
lot
us
of-
too.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I mean, so that evened out too. So really, that didn't cause you know, a disparaging end to the game either.
They
So
called that game very tight
Yeah.
from a foul perspective.
Oh, yeah.
But there were a couple of calls, it was
Both sides, oh, yeah.
evenly bad on
Yeah.
both. I distinctly remember an over and back where they called, Tom was like,
yep, he planted his foot.
he like jumped over the lines, landed, and then caught the ball, and the guy's like, over and back.
Yeah.
It's like,
No.
Dude.
and that was
Remember the
near the end of
officials?
the game.
I don't remember. I mean, who they were?
Were they Philadelphia lawyers?
No, that's no. I don't remember the officials in that game. I just remember when he kicked it.
It didn't happen.
Well, whatever happened,
When you
I was
a pass off his shin.
I was right there, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? That you're paid to come here and see that? It's everybody else, in the, you know." And the ball rolls down the floor. He chases it down
On a bum
and,
leg.
And yeah. I don't know that until now, but. Yeah, I remember in that game our size. I remember offensive rebounding. You talk about
Yeah.
that, Dan. Just
Yeah.
I remember the size. You know, Flick got Dan Nairwood came off the bench, had some offensive rebounds and buckets, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And
Well,
so yeah, our
that-
size was good.
Yeah, I remember on free throws, I think you guys had 3 or 4 times where you made the first one missed the second one, got a bucket to get a 3-point play.
Right.
I think that happened at least 3 or 4 times, just because you guys' size on it.
Yeah.
Because I remember hearing about it in the huddle when we got
And you
back to
guys,
the thing.
a couple times blocked John's shot, and John never had his shot blocked.
Yeah.
And I,
I
think
got
at
him a
least-
couple
at
of
least, At
times.
least twice in that game, I think.
Yeah.
That was foreign to him.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Well, that was kind of my matchup was with him, and I got a couple of his shots, I think, in that game. But that's one thing, that's one kind of memory that kind of sticks out in my brain as far as that game is matching up with him. Him guarding me and me guarding him. And he's a good player, man. He could shoot it. And so I tried to stay close to him as much as I could,
Yeah, for me, what I remember most about that game is even though you guys were in a zone, normally zones, there's not a lot of physicalness to when it comes to it. But it was a really physical game.
Right.
I mean, us playing man, we're always, physical when it comes to it, and especially down in the block and stuff like that. I always have a body on somebody and doing something to somebody.
Right.
But with the zone that's being played and the way that you guys played it, it felt like it was man-to-man a lot of the times because there was always someone, a body on you rather than a space. You guys didn't seem like you were playing a space on the floor.
like a stationary zone kind of
Right,
thing.
yeah, that you guys would play your space, but then play the person in that space if there's one there.
Right.
Get
So-
hit if you got cut, or cutting through a little bit.
Yeah, plus a guy like, Dave Flick was about 6'6", pretty muscular, strong guy.
It
and
seemed
he-
like he would embrace some contact with.
Yeah, I think so. That's
fun.
Yeah.
I think you guys,
That's a
the
fun
referees
thing.
were like, "Hey, you guys."
Yeah.
Oh, there was a lot of that going on. The referee's kind of jabbering and telling us to calm down, and you loved it.
I love it.
Oh, you loved
Yes.
it, yeah.
Well, I say basketball and football are the same thing. It's just a different shaped ball. I mean,
Yeah,
that's the biggest
yeah,
deal.
exactly.
So,
Anything else? Fire something out.
Jack, any comments from the 86 state title game?
Volley?
What was the final score?
52-51, wasn't
yeah,
it?
52.
I didn't even remember until I have it right here.
52-51.
Yeah, 0.
52, 51.
52,
It was a
51.
close game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it came down, well, I mean, that's the same thing. It came down to the last second shot. And,
Tom had a good look. Just
Tom had a good look, and I remember you and I were the ones that finally hit each other to go after
Yes.
that rebound. Then Horner came over both of us,
Yes.
and threw it to the other side of the rim,
Yes.
and it didn't go in.
You bring that up, triggers my memory because this guy was a demon in 3 state tournament games, rebounding wise. He's just a tough guy. And I just remember when Pearson got into the lane and Tim was next to me, all I tried to do is slam into you. Like if you look at the video.
You did slam. I mean,
Do you remember that?
yeah,
I tried to
yeah.
slam into you just for the sheer fact, get him away from the glass.
Yeah.
Even if I didn't get it, just keep you away from an offensive rebound. But if you watch the game, you can see me kind of just.
It was a quick look, and then
Yeah.
and then you went. Then you
Right.
You just kind of threw yourself back,
Sacrificing
and
my
hit-
body, man, a lot on the line,
Well,
so.
and with that play too, I mean, we've seen Pearson make that shot hundreds of times out on the court. All the courts in
How much
in
time was
Duluth.
left when he shot?
What, 19,
no,
18
it was-
seconds?
Yeah, it was in the teens
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah,
I mean,
so-
it wasn't
That's
the end of the game. 'Cause
Yeah,
you guys went down.
Because we
and
went
shot.
down, John Walker got the rebound and made a couple free throws, and then the game was at 3. We had a 3-point lead.
We just dribbled down and lay up, and then they
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
stood
I-
up
I-
out of bounds right in front of me, holding the ball with your arms up in the air like this.
That was Jim
I
Bird.
stood right there.
Yeah, I know, oh, yeah.
I remember going nose to nose with Walker at one time.
Yeah,
And they came over for a jump ball.
Just a tie-up.
Yeah, and we just ripped each other's off, and then we just both chest to chest when we came down. I was looking up, of course, but yeah, that was fun.
Was that the shot you're trying to get at the very end? Last question. Pearson either get it inside you, but was it Pearson drive? Is that
Didn't
one?
have a play.
That one we didn't. No,
That was just-
work it
just
around
home
and get a good shot.
Tom was shooting the ball, he was
very well.
probably shooting the ball really well in that
Right,
game.
yeah.
And I think John had cooled off in the second half quite a bit.
Right.
Had quite a few, he had a couple of really nice open looks
That's right.
in the latter stages of the game that he didn't make, which he would make 9 times out of 10.
Right,
But Tom was actually shooting the ball really well from that point.
right, yep.
So
Yeah.
it was nothing wrong with that shot. that
No,
he took.
it just hit the back rim, just a little bit,
Just a little left.
yeah, a little long, a little left, and hit the back rim. That's it.
But that's the way the ball bounced.